In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use rhythm to drastically boost your improvisational skills. Here's the thing, rhythm is one of the most important, if not the most important element when it comes to creating and producing great and effective melodies and phrases. But a lot of people, especially saxophone players, we don't get to practice rhythms enough, or there's not a specific roadmap on how to practice rhythm. We just kind of do it by playing around and listening and reading. But actually, I have an entire system on how to apply rhythm that I teach on my Jazz Improvisation Mastery System course. And today in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can implement simple rhythms from solos that you already know or from the music that you love, how you can extract rhythms and actually enhance your rhythmic vocabulary. Because here's the thing, if you don't work on your rhythmic vocabulary, it doesn't matter how many scales, how many chords, how many patterns and licks you memorize, you're not going to be able to produce effective phrases on the spot, because that all comes from internalizing rhythms. And that's what all amazing players that you already love, they really have an amazing rhythmic language. And today, I'm going to show you how you can combine simple rhythms and simple elements like a simple scale or a chord and actually attach those rhythms to the scale and actually make it sound a lot more musical. Listen, I studied for 4 years at Berklee College of Music, and there was not a single lesson about rhythm. You kind of work on it by doing so many other things and by by practicing technique and stuff like that. Yeah, you get rhythm, but I spent years just mechanizing, memorizing scales, licks, phrases, and when it was time to solo, I sounded good, but it sounded more like a compilation of phrases. It didn't really sound like I was playing musical phrases. It wasn't until I had a few amazing teachers. I remember I had one teacher at Berklee, amazing guy, and it was an elective course. It wasn't even at all in the regular curriculum. And the name of the class was Thematic Development for Improvisation and Composition. And I remember that the teacher, Rick DiMuzio, amazing sax player, taught me how I can use rhythm as a motivic element and just repeat the rhythm and focus on simplicity, and that transformed the way I looked at things. In fact, I remember I asked for a private lesson with him, and I went to his house completely aside from school, and he taught me these amazing techniques on how you can use rhythms in different parts of your solos and sound so much more musical. Since then, I got obsessed with rhythm vocabulary and rhythmic language, and I started working so much on my rhythmic vocabulary. And here's the thing, the great part about this is you don't need your instrument to work on your rhythmic vocabulary. In fact, I recommend you do this without your instrument first. Listen, I can say 60% of my musical development and my improvement as an improviser and a musician has come without my instrument, just by all the things you can do without it. There's so much stuff, and especially rhythmic vocabulary. Here's how you do it. You sing rhythms constantly. You listen to music and you get used to transcribing the rhythms. There's a lot of crazy beliefs, especially in the jazz education atmosphere, of transcribing solos. Yes, it is great to transcribe, but it's not great if you transcribe and you don't know how to use what you transcribed. And a lot of people, that happens. In fact, I've transcribed many solos in my life, but I realized that a lot of them just didn't show up on my playing. So I was like, wait, why am I transcribing all of this? In fact, sometimes I didn't even like the entire solo. I just liked a few phrases. So I started, instead of transcribing the entire solo, let me just grab the phrases that I like and understand the phrases, understand the rhythms, and understand what's happening so that I can implement it and transform it. So, and what I'm going to show you now is how you can grab phrases, but only detach the rhythmic element of it. Because a lot of the times we already play cool phrases and stuff like that, but we are almost cursed to play that exact phrase on that exact same context with those same chords, right? But when you detach the rhythmic element of phrases, especially phrases that are very rhythmic oriented, you are able to now play that rhythm on all sorts of contexts. You can grab a simple scale and play that rhythm. Chords, you can put that rhythm on different places and create amazing musical phrases. Here's the thing, rhythm is the how of whatever you play. So it doesn't matter how many scales and how much technique you gain. If you don't enhance your rhythmic vocabulary, you'll never be able to produce effective melodic phrases. That's the reality. And on the other side, if you really work on boosting your rhythmic vocabulary by singing rhythms and by really transcribing rhythms and constantly sing and then practice how to integrate those rhythms to simple elements like a scale. If you do that, even if you don't have a lot of chords and scales under your fingers, you will still be able to sound very musical. You can grab a blues scale, as simple as that, and transform it and play amazing phrases by just attaching cool and great and effective rhythms to that blues scale. This is how a lot of great players, you know, if you see Gerald Albright, Maceo Parker, like those like more funk players, the rhythmic vocabulary is insane. Or like Eric Marienthal, right? Well, when you go back to like jazz, I'm going to show you now. I'm going to transcribe a quick phrase from Dexter Gordon and another one from Cannonball Adderley. I'm going to show you how to detach the rhythmic part of what they play. And then I'm going to integrate that rhythm to a major scale first. So you can see how you can transform a simple major scale onto beautiful musical phrases. And then I'll show you how you integrate it maybe to another scale, to 2 chords, and I'll play and I'll show you how I'm going to solo based on the rhythm I transcribed. This is so musical, and since I learned this because I studied a lot of composition, my playing and my musicality really transformed when I started focusing on rhythm. And here's the thing about rhythm: it will enhance everything that you already know. If you already know, like, let's say you know your 12 major scales, but you don't feel that you're musical with them, or where you improvise, you use scales, but it's like, or you use chords, whatever you're right now using, you feel stuck. It's because you don't have rhythmic language. But if you learn and internalize rhythm, then and learn how to attach those rhythms to whatever you already know, like a scale, you are going to instantly sound more musical. And from there, you can elevate your level and start working constantly on your rhythmic vocabulary. And on the other hand, you can keep working on your chords, on your inversions and melodic cells. But it doesn't matter if you work only on this part, on like the chords and the scales and the patterns, and you don't work on your rhythmic vocabulary, you will feel stuck. And I'm telling you this because I felt stuck and I worked on all of that other stuff. And then until I worked drastically on my rhythmic vocabulary, I really improved. In fact, I'm obsessed now because I constantly work on enhancing my rhythmic vocabulary because it instantly translates to your playing. And here's the thing: the more time you spend singing rhythms and transcribing rhythms, the more they will naturally integrate in your playing. You know how I found out about this? I used to walk to Berkeley every day for 4 years. And I would have my headphones with the old iPod, and I would just listen to solos and music, a lot of big band. And I would just jam rhythms with my mouth as I would listen. I would listen to a rhythm and I would try to sing it back, almost like a call and response. I became like an improviser, a rhythmic improviser, right? And then when I did this so much, and when I started going to the practice room, a lot of phrases that I never ever practiced before showed up just because I have internalized the rhythm. So now instead of just playing right, you can instantly sound a lot more musical and manipulate the same resource you've known before, but create a lot of music with it. I'm going to show you right now how you can get started by transcribing rhythmic elements from solos that you already love, or music, anything. It doesn't have to be a sax player. It could be the keyboard rhythm or the something within the groove, the guitar groove, maybe something in the percussion, anything rhythmically that you can sing back and will produce a good phrase, right? And as a little test, I always tell my students, if you want to see how good your rhythmic vocabulary is, just put a metronome or a play along and don't play anything. Just sing rhythms with no hesitation. So your goal is to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, ba 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 da ba 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 do ba 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 do ba ba do ba ba da ba da ba ba da ba 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 da bu da ba da ba da bu ba da ba ba do ba 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 da ba 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 do ba da do ba, etc., etc. If it's a medium swing, constantly singing the rhythms with no hesitation. That's rhythmic language. If I do that, the more I do that, the more it translates to your playing. The saxophone especially is a translation of your voice. So I do this a lot of times, and I tell my students, sing a rhythm, sing it. And then they sing it once, and then by the third time, it's already muddy. It's already wrong. It's like, okay, well, sing it 25 times if you have to before you play, until you stop thinking about the rhythm and it's already in your body, internalized. Then you play. This is why when you play, all of the notes sometimes or phrases sound shaky or mumbling, or it sounds like, oh, my phrase is all over the place. It's because you have not worked on your rhythmic vocabulary. And that's not just tempo and metronome. That's internalized rhythmic accuracy. Okay, let's go ahead and check out this Dexter Gordon phrase and transcribe the rhythms. This is from his solo over There Will Never Be Another You. Amazing solo. Ba-do-ba-do-ba-da-ba-do-boo-da-boo-ba. Let's just grab the ba-ba-do-ba-da-ba-da-boo-da-boo-ba. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba-ba-do-ba-da-ba-da-boo-da-boo-ba. He's actually playing this phrase. Right? Now, instead of it, I transcribe the entire phrase or with the notes, but now we're going to detach the rhythm. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-boo-da-boo-ba. 1, 2, 3. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-do-boo-da-boo-ba. Let's grab that rhythm now and put it on something completely different. A simple C major scale. And mess around with the C major scale and with the shape so that it just doesn't sound like the scale up and down by using that rhythm, right? I added a little chromatic approach there, but you see how by thinking on that rhythm that I transcribed, this is if you have no idea on how to start with the rhythm, transcribe it like I did. Simple rhythm, don't go too crazy with a super like double time rhythm. Just go pick a simple one like this one, sing it many times, mess around with the scale. Right, and you can go up and down, do jumps. Here's the fun thing and the beautiful thing about rhythm. It kind of tells you what to do. It gives you ideas. If I hear ba ba do boo da ba da boo da boo ba, that suggests some jumps. Ba ba do ba do ba do da ba ba or ba ba ba. Right? The rhythm itself just gives you the musicality that you need to create phrases on the spot. If I don't think about rhythm, then yeah, something cool might show up, but it might just be a mumbling in the scale. Make sense? So now let's pick something else. How about I grab like the C melodic minor scale and do the same thing? Ba ba do ba da ba da boo da boo ba. Ba ba da ba da ba do boo da boo ba. You get the idea, right? I'm just using that rhythm, internalized it, and whatever I play, it already sounds a little more in a more musical context. Then you can grab another rhythm and do the same thing. Then you can mix the two rhythms, and you know how you can start expanding this, right? You can apply this over a chord progression, play the same rhythm over the entire chord progression. I'll do another video of that so that you can see how you can actually apply this to an entire tune. But for now, I'm just going to play on one chord loop, and I'm going to show you how this would sound. Here we go. Great, on to the next rhythm. This one comes from Cannonball Adderley solo over Wabash, this amazing album that he did with John Coltrane live in Chicago. So let's check it out. That's it. Ba ba da ba da ba 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 do boo da ba 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 ba. And if you want, you can actually figure out the phrase with the notes as well. Okay, cool, but I'm not gonna worry about the notes. Right now, just the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, ba ba do ba da ba 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 ba. And when you sing it, articulate it. Don't just sing it like ba ba do ba 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 do ba da ba 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 do ba da ba 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 do ba da ba 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 do ba da ba 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 ba. Put it on a major scale. I'm gonna grab that rhythm, attach it to the notes of a C major scale, and mess around with the scale. You get it's simple, but the phrase is amazing. You can put it, let's put it on a C melodic minor, just so that you can get a different sound with the same rhythm. So you get the idea how musical, you can make anything sound more musical this way. Let's play over 2 chords now. I'm just gonna play the chord inversions over C major 7 and F major 7. Now, if you want to learn how you can do this with chords, check out my other video where I'm showing you exactly how you can play and create amazing jazz lines over 2-5-1s down in the description. But I'm going to do this quickly with that rhythm. C major 7, F major 7. What I'm going to do is, check this out. I'm going to do ba ba do ba da ba in C major and then ba 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 on F. Ba ba do ba da ba 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 ba. So it's 2 chords, right? Going. So you get the idea. You can attach this rhythm and work for an hour or 2 hours. You can be working with one rhythm. In fact, sometimes I tell students to just work with one rhythm for 2-3 days. Stick with that rhythm. And if you can start integrating it with different things, all of a sudden I became just more musical. In fact, I haven't actually necessarily played that rhythm until today. Probably have played it because I've a big rhythmic vocabulary, but I just did this right now for this video. And it's actually enhancing my playing as we speak, as I'm making this video. Ba ba do ba da ba 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 ba. I love it. I want to integrate that over a tune. That's on my next video. I want to show you how you can grab rhythms like that and put it on an entire song and play around the chords using only one rhythm. That then you can use 2 rhythms, and this is just a musical practice, right? So let's check it out. I'm going to put a little funky loop here, funky track. In fact, I grabbed this rhythm from a swing tune, and I'm going to show you right now how I can use it over a cool funk track. All right, check this out. I'm going to use that Cannonball Adderley rhythm. Ba ba da ba da ba 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 ba. Ba ba do bu da ba 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 ba. And I'm going to transform it and put it on a funky context with a simple D blues scale for the tenor. So check it out. Da 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 da. Ba 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 boo boo ba 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 ba. See how cool it already sounds? Just makes the scale sound a lot more musical. Now, I'm going to play over a cool, funky track just on D minor all the time. I only use the D minor blues scale and that rhythm. I might get away from the rhythm a bit, but I'm going to base my whole solo on that rhythm. Just as a practice so you can hear how the scale I can produce so many melodic elements and melodic phrases by just using that rhythm and that scale. This is just the beginning. Imagine what you can do when you add more things to this. How much more melodic everything sounds when you apply basic rhythms. Now, this is the beginning. I wanted to make this video so if you're more in the beginner intermediate part where you just don't know where to go next and jazz theory might seem overwhelming, right? Because you can always, if you're a student and you have time to go and transcribe and do all these exercises, go ahead and do it. But if you're maybe not a professional musician, but you love music and you just want to improvise and play more melodic phrases, use rhythm. Because here's the thing, you don't even need to play all of the sophisticated intricacies. If you play, I rather listen to a solo with amazing rhythmic vocabulary than a solo with all of these crazy notes and substitutions and stuff like that. Honestly, when it comes down to what you're gonna play for a listener or for an audience, they will react better to tasty rhythms. And sure, they'll react to the show-offs and stuff like that. But honestly, I've tried this in my concerts where I consciously want to be more rhythmical and I start playing and repeating phrases more rhythmically and I instantly see the audience smile. And this is something that I love because I try it and I test it in my concerts where I'm like, you know what, maybe my fingers are flowing. I'm gonna think on rhythm. I'm gonna grab and just get that feeling of rhythm in me and just play basic stuff. Repeat, right? Grab those rhythms make them kind of groovy, and instantly the audience smiles. And this is it. Rhythm is the most primitive thing the human being has. Music started with rhythm. So if you're studying music, if you want to sound more musical, rhythm, it's the first pillar of everything. Without rhythmic, in fact, if I could go back to the Lorenzo that was just starting out, my first week, I remember I bought my tenor. I played clarinet before, and I wanted to play Now's the Time, and I put a Jamie Abersel play along. I was playing with kind of a horrible sound, but I could get some sound out of it because I played clarinet before. And when I saw that, I only knew the blues scale, so I was just playing the blues scale. I wish I could have learned that I could use rhythm with the blues scale. Hey, now that you know the blues scale, try this. Ba 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 do ba 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 do ba. And I would have practiced that way and started sounding more musical. And here's the thing: when you do that, you become more confident. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting a lot more videos like this. Please like and share this video with your musician friends or your music lover friends who you think will benefit a lot from this video. And I'm leaving in the description a link to my jazz improvisation mastery system. This is my full online course where I teach my step-by-step method on how you can become an amazing improviser and drastically boost your melodic vocabulary so you can improvise with confidence, start developing your own personalized language, and also you can start writing amazing phrases on any musical style. So go ahead, check the link down below to join my jazz improvisation mastery system. Subscribe, please share this video, and leave in the comments what kind of videos would you like to see next, because I'm uploading like 2 or 3 times a week now. So I would love to see what are the things that you're struggling with, or what would you like to see. Maybe it's a performance video or maybe a specific topic. Leave it in the comments. I'll read them all, and I'll keep that in mind for my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.